Hello, everyone. Today I will be walking you through the process of growing full-sized ferns from spores, exploring the unique life cycle of these plants. Understanding the fern life cycle. When one hears the word plants, the picture that comes to mind might be an apple tree, a dandelion, or a pine tree. These are all examples of angiosperms or gymnosperms. Ferns are different from both of these groups of plants because they have a unique life cycle which alternates between two generations, the gametophyte and the sporophyte generations. Gametophytes are the result of spore germination. Once a spore lands in a water-rich environment, it will germinate and produce male and female reproductive parts on the lower part of the plant. These often look like small heart-shaped structures. This generation is also haploid. When sexual maturity is reached, these structures will release sperm to swim through the film of water in the environment in search of an egg in the female structure, typically from another gametophyte. The fertilized egg will develop into an embryo, which will eventually turn into the diploid sporophyte generation. The first tiny leaf of the sporophyte will emerge from the bottom of the gametophyte to become the plant we commonly think of as a fern. Materials needed. Number 1, fern spores. Number 2, a petri dish or a pot. Number 3, growing media, agar for petri dish or soil mix for a pot. Number 4, plastic cover or a lid. Number 5, spray bottle. Preparing the substrate. If using a prepared petri dish, make sure it is sealed before using it to ensure no pathogens are introduced to the growing media. If using a soil mix, make sure it is sterilized to prevent pathogens from growing in the moist media. Sow the spores. Spread the spores evenly across the agar or potting mix without overcrowding them. Overcrowding will lead to poor growth. Provide and maintain a moist environment. Gently mist the surface, regardless of the media selected. Keep containers covered to ensure a mini greenhouse effect for humidity. This is crucial as spores require a very moist environment in order to germinate.
Germination and gametophyte growth. It will take several weeks for the spores to germinate into tiny gametophytes. Maintain a constant moisture level throughout the entire process. Transplanting. Gametophytes will be mature once they reach the shape of a heart and look roughly half an inch across. At this point, it is time to move all the mature gametophytes to a larger pot with fresh, sterilized mix in order to grow further. Sporophyte growth. In the new moist mix, gametophytes will produce male and female reproductive structures. Upon fertilization, an embryo will eventually grow into the sporophyte generation from under the gametophyte. Over time, the sporophytes will continue to grow and will eventually develop structures on their undersides, which produce more spores. Thus, the cycle is completed and starts again. Tips for success. Patience. It can take several months to grow to a decent sized fern, so don't lose hope. Maintenance. These are very delicate plants at first, and must be consistently moistened without becoming waterlogged. Light and temperature. Indirect light is needed, as well as room temperature conditions. It's a long and arduous process. Growing ferns from spores is quite rewarding. It is interesting to see this unique member of the plant family complete its unusual life cycle on your windowsill.